Hi friends, Erica here with Team Lucado, and I can't wait to share with you about a new devotional just for kids written by Max Lucado. You Can Count on God is geared towards ages 6 through 10, and it's written especially for those young hearts and minds who are seeking knowledge and guidance even if they don't realize it yet. We hope that all the young ones who open this devotional will know that God is their ultimate best friend. They can count on God to listen when they are worried, to comfort when they are sad, and to celebrate when they have wins. No matter what is going on in their world, good, bad, happy, or sad, they can count on God. You Can Count on God, this special devotional for kids, is available wherever books are sold.
Hi everybody, Max Lucado here from my home to yours. Thanks so much for joining me for today's encouraging word. Here's an idea for you to consider. Every day deserves a chance. Every day. Every day deserves a chance to be a good day. Vanderlei de Lima is a guy I want to tell you about. 5 feet 5 inches tall, stands shorter than some fifth graders, weighs only 119 pounds, should be eligible for discount airline tickets. The fellow was so small, but don't let the size of the Brazilian fool you. The body may be small, but the heart, well, it was bigger than the Olympic Stadium of Athens. That's where he received the 2004 bronze medal for the marathon. He should have won the gold. He was leading the race with only 3 miles to go when a spectator, yes, a spectator, accosted him, a deranged protester from Ireland who'd been imprisoned for running on a Grand Prix racetrack in England a year earlier, hurled himself into the runner, forced him off the course and into a crowd. Well, stunned and shaken, de Lima shook loose and he resumed the race. In the process, however, he lost his rhythm, he lost precious seconds, and he lost his position, but he never lost his joy. The small-bodied, big-hearted Brazilian entered the old marble stadium with the thrill of a child. He punched the air with his fists, and then he ran with both arms extended like a human airplane, weaving for joy, looking for a place to land. Later, crowned with an olive wreath and bejeweled with an unflappable smile, he explained his exhilaration. He said, "It's a festive moment. It's a unique moment. Most athletes never have this moment." Yeah, but most athletes never get bumped off the path either. Vanderlei de Lima never complained. "The Olympic spirit prevailed again," he said, "and I was able to medal for myself and my country." You know, I'm taking notes on this guy, wondering how de Lima kept such an attitude. Race bumpers still prowl the crowds. You don't have to run a marathon to go from the front of the pack to flat on your back. Just ask the kids who gather at their mom's grave, or the patients waiting their turn at cancer therapy, cemetery, chemotherapy, the spouse who moved out, the soldier who returns missing a limb, the parents of the runaway daughter, the family made homeless by the hurricane, life derailed. How do you get back in the race? Let's turn to another runner for a few ideas. Take a look at him. Peer through the small window in the wall of the Roman jail cell. See the man in chains? That aging fellow with the stooped shoulders, the hawkish nose? That's the Apostle Paul, the imprisoned Apostle Paul. His chains never come off. The guards never leave. Yet, rather than count the bricks of his prison, Paul planted a garden within it. He itemized not the mistreatment of man, but the faithfulness of God. Here's what he said. I want you to know, brethren, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel. That's in Philippians 1 and verse 12. He may appear to be bumped off track, but he's actually right on target. One reason, he says, Christ is preached. The mission is being accomplished. It had become known throughout the whole Praetorian Guard and to the rest that my imprisonment is for Christ. Philippians 1:13. Paul is thankful for those who imprison him. The important thing, he says, whether in any way, for right or wrong, people are preaching about Christ. That's in verse 18. Now, few passages in Scripture punctuate with such faith. Paul displays an absolute trust in God's oversight. So what if some people preach from poor motives? So what if he's in prison? Is God not greater than people? Is God not greater than prisons? The power is in God's hands, not in the situation or the circumstance. That's why Paul could write from the chill of a jail, so I am happy, and I will continue to be happy. That's verse 18. He was unfairly treated. He had an uncharted future, yet he had unbridled joy, bumped off track, yet still in the race. How? Well, we can summarize all the reasons with one word. We can reduce all the answers to a single verb. We can distill the explanation into one decision. What is the word, verb, and decision? Trust. Paul trusted God. He didn't know why bad things happened. He didn't know how they would be resolved, but he knew who was in charge. Knowing who counterbalances the mystery of why and how. Over 100 years ago in England, in the borough of West Stanley, there was a great tragedy. A mine collapsed, trapping and killing many of the coal workers inside. The Bishop of Durham, Dr. Hanley Mole, was asked to bring a word of comfort to the mourners. Standing at the mouth of the mine, he said words somewhat like this. It is very difficult for us to understand why God should let such an awful disaster happen, but we know Him and we trust Him, and all will be right. I have at home, he explained, an old bookmark given to me by my mother. It is worked in silk, and when I examine the wrong side of it, I see nothing but a tangle of threads, crossed and recrossed. It looks like a big mistake. And one would think that someone had done it who did not know what she was doing. But when I turn it over and I look at the right side, I see there, beautifully embroidered, the letters and words, God is love. We are looking at this from the wrong side today, he explained. Someday we'll see it from another standpoint, another viewpoint, and then we shall understand. Indeed, we shall. Until then, let's focus less on the tangled threads and more on the hand of the weaver. Let's learn a lesson from Van der Lima. He didn't let the bump keep him from getting back in the race. Dear friend, I hope this bump, this stumble, this struggle will not prevent you from getting back in the race. Who knows? You may receive a medal at the end of this marathon. Can I pray for you? Dear Father, I have a feeling in my heart that some people are listening to this message who are passing through a time of great struggle. And I believe, dear Father, you have a word for them. And that word is trust. Grant that they can trust you. And when we don't know why, when we don't know how, may we know who, may we know you. This is my prayer for them. It's my prayer for me. It's my prayer for all of us. Every day deserves a chance, Father, to be a day of faith and hope. And let this be that day that we put our trust in you. Through Christ I pray. All the very best, my friend. Amen.
Hey, this is Dina Lynn Lucado. Max and I are so thankful you joined us for today's encouraging word. Please subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss a single message. For more information about Max's ministry, please visit maxlucado.com. Until next time, stay encouraged.
Hello friends, this is Mark with Team Lucado. Are you struggling with guilt? Then meet Peter, the apostle who bailed on Jesus. Are you facing an impossible challenge?
Tượng trưng